Well, good morning, Cornerstone. Pastor Mike here with another edition of Perspectives. And I don't have to tell you that as we continue through this pandemic, that it's a lot easier to feel tension. There's just all kinds of things that factor into that. Last week we talked about tension in the family and gave you some helps on how to do that from a godly perspective. We want to go to God for the grace that we need. We want to try to speak the truth in love. And then on Friday, if you didn't get a chance to see it, our friend Howie Scott shared about cleaning up, because the reality is we're all going to mess up. No one gets this perfect, particularly under pressure. And so we need to know how to clean up well. And Scripture talks to us about that. But it's not just all that self-contained with all the factors adding to the tension being just in your home and the things that you're now getting more experience of, basically being that with your family. But it's also being added to by the removal of some things. I don't have to go down a long list. I'm sure there are hobbies and sports and things that you're used to doing that have all been taken away. But the one thing I do want to focus on in this edition of Perspectives is just the removal of our normal meeting as a church. If you look in the scriptures, the church is defined as a body. And, there's a lot of one anothering that the scripture calls us to love one another, support one another, encourage one another. And given the current circumstances, that does not change, but it does require a good bit more effort. And so I just want to point out some ways that you can still engage and use the body to be of help and encouragement in these days, and allow that one anothering to still go on. If you haven't been participating in a small group, I would encourage you to jump in now. Some of our small groups are experiencing new depths of honesty and openness as we walk through this, which has been a real blessing. And another way that you can really take advantage of this time and begin to engage and fight this isolation that we're feeling. And I'll just say we need to fight it because we are prone to isolation naturally, particularly when it comes to spiritual matters. And so the momentum that we need to overcome that is even greater now. So one of the things we're offering this week, and this is kind of the main point of this Perspectives, is we're inviting Michelle Leonard, a professional counselor who approaches family dynamics from a scriptural perspective, to come and share an hour with us this Wednesday at 8 o'clock on Zoom. And she's going to be talking about how to promote family health in the middle of some tense times like we're going through right now. And I would really say to you, I don't care where you are in family life, I'm always at a point that I can learn more because I know that I don't know it all. And Michelle is someone that walks with God, that's studied this, and she's seen a lot of stuff. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from her. So I would just challenge you to put that on your calendar this week. 8 o'clock, we're going to be sending out the Zoom invitation. And she's going to be taking the first 15 minutes just to talk about some things to look at as we're going through these days and ways that we can promote family health. And wouldn't it be great if we actually came out of this time as a stronger family, individually and as a church family? So let me just encourage you to do that. Feel free to invite friends that are not a part of Cornerstone but may really benefit from this as well. So 8 o'clock, Michelle Leonard, Wednesday night. Look for that Zoom invitation, and we hope to see you there. Thanks again for tuning in for this week on Perspectives. We'll see you next time.